last month's minutes. I don't know if everybody got a chance to review them. You all set? Yep. Did you need them?
Yes.
Thanks, Bob.
Natasha, so nice to see you. How's your job working out?
Everything's
Great.
well good so far.
Jay Gaffney.
Ken White.
Ken, nice to see you.
Walt, finally.
Walt, nice to see you.
This time I recognize you.
Yeah.
I want to sit here. I'm like, I introduced myself, I'm with the commission. He's like, yeah, I'm with the commission too.
This one. Those were all sent in email. I don't know if you got them or not. So Jane and I figured out
We did?
there's
You're gonna sit here?
no dot in between your last name and your
Yeah.
first name.
Oh, okay.
So I think the confusion was we're sending it
Fine,
to
look, look,
the dot, but
Yeah.
when it's not.
Yeah.
I take a comfortable change.
Which ones are those?
More comfortable than me.
Well, we need these to get up.
Yeah.
You're not old yet.
That's what I meant by comfortable. All right.
Eric said he was gonna try to be on.
No, you're good, you're fine.
Too close up.
Do you have an agenda, Anna? What? I've
Yeah,
got,
you want to do that?
I've got one spare.
I got the one you sent.
Oh, it came, oh, good.
Yes, came Wednesday.
Just gonna pull up the agenda real quick.
This smart machine that even knows who you are.
Brian, we are really going high-tech here now. Excellent.
He's gonna try to come on. His wife had a medical procedure today in Lowell. And he was gonna leave here around 3 to go home. He lives in Milford. I talked to him yesterday. I go to the gym every morning. About 2 years I'll have the muscle.
What do you think? Maybe 5 years you'll be sitting in one of these chairs? Without getting up?
No, they'll be wheeling me in on a gurney.
Oh,
5 more years, that's awful.
And if you'll call the meeting to order.
I'll just send you a few minutes.
Okay, sure.
Usually pretty good. Steve says he's
Just hope we made it home. Traffic sometimes.
didn't mean to rush off the phone. Just, where I work, I'm with time.
That's fine. We got all our necessary business transacted, so I think.
There's barely 30 seconds to think to myself over there before somebody else comes knocking.
You work for my buddy John?
Yeah. Work over in the parts department.
Oh,
Yeah.
better than masonry, huh?
Just a lot of dirty work. Not much heavy lifting.
Just don't mention my name to him because he'll fire you. Oh, no, he didn't. We had words several times. I was a truck driver before I retired. And did some poor service to my tractor, which my life depended on. So,
Knowing John,
oh, God. I learned from women truck drivers. They have the best words.
We could probably get through some of the preliminary stuff without him anyways.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, everybody. The time is officially 5:06, today the 26th of May. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Stand to the Pledge of Allegiance as we normally do. I'd like to ask everybody to stand if you. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May you observe the moment of silence. Thank you. If I may just ask for an additional moment of silence for families of Texas. Or Jay, for that.
Yeah, I can go with roll call. Walt?
Present?
Here. Rich Cody?
Here.
Jay?
Here.
Brian Gorman, myself, here. James Hall. No? Wally O'Neill?
Yeah.
Anda?
Here.
Ken Wedge?
Yep.
Latasha?
Here.
And Ali Zarid. We missed-
We,
I don't think he's
think
gonna
he
be
was
with us.
moving.
He,
He was moving out of state.
yeah, he was very enthusiastic, and then he got an unexpected job transfer, so I don't think we'll see him.
Okay, we can, did you wanna reach out to him? Or we can't because he's not in the city, correct?
I don't think he could serve because he has moved down to which southern state, I can't recall.
Yeah. Okay.
I will contact him, and I'll probably ask him to send a letter of resignation, so,
Okay.
and tell him he'd be certainly welcome if he was reassigned back here.
Jay, in memoriam, did you add that, or would you like to do the honors of recognizing?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, George Anthes was one of our fairly recent veterans of the month. He had quite a bit. He served in the Air Force, received a number of decorations. I know he received the Air Force Achievement Medal. Served in the Lowell City Council. He's one of the panelists on that City Life radio show. Taught politics at UMass Lowell. So, and he was a good guy. So I just thought we'd have a moment of silence, or maybe we would all join in a rest in peace for George. Rest in peace, George.
Rest in peace, George.
Thank you for that. approval of prior minutes. Can get someone to motion to.
Yeah,
approve that consent?
there's, if everybody's had the chance to read over them and take a look, I'd move to approve last month's minutes.
Yeah, I'll move that they be accepted, approved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Old business, deferred, we'll get into just a couple of things, shortly here, but, new business, election of officers, one-year term, scheduled for this meeting. Any member can nominate and, or nominate anyone, or themselves, and the three positions that typically, receive the nominations for, the chair, vice chair, and clerk. So do we want to do that now? Jay, I know in our talks, we were gonna see if that was gonna happen today, or if we were just gonna discuss that, take the nominations, and then, get the acceptance at another meeting, or we can do that all in one meeting.
It would be, it would be up to the commission what they wanted to do. Does anybody have a nomination for chair?
Yep, you may have a nomination for chair.
I don't know anything. Who's the chair now?
I'm the chair, yes. Vice chair is Latasha, and clerk is Brian.
Well, no, I'll nominate Brian to continue as clerk.
And you're gonna be the chair? I don't have a computer, so I'm really, I'm in the dark.
No, so this is the opportunity for members of the commission to voice their nominations for anyone, including themselves.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they should wish.
You're the smartest person I know, so.
No, stop it. I'm in a room full.
But
of-
you've done such a good job.
No, thank you, I appreciate that. So I kind of mentioned it at the last meeting, and Jay and I had talked about it, and Jay puts his words of influence on me. It has been one of my greatest honors to serve on the commission altogether, let alone vice chair and then now chair. I have loved the opportunity to be able to sit in the seat and meet with, work with all of you, and those that have gone and passed as well. We ran into a difficult time with COVID, and that's not just the commission, that's the world.
Everything.
And since then, we've slowly, as the effects of COVID were starting to be lifted and we were feeling some relief from that, as a commission, we kind of continue to struggle with getting the, picking up momentum. And so now that we're, I think, a pretty good step away from the effects of COVID, and that we can really pick up the momentum and start doing some real things, I thought that it may serve the commission well and our veterans well to allow for the opportunity for someone else to take this seat and lead us in another direction. I don't have any plans of leaving the commission. I still obviously want to be a part of it, but I wanted to open up the opportunity and the space to allow for those that are interested, or if somebody wanted to nominate somebody else to take the seat. I think that we have very able bodies here. Everybody is capable, and I think that we would have each other's support no matter what. And so I had planned on stepping down, if you would, to give somebody else the opportunity. But in following the procedure, the commission usually allows for someone to nominate somebody, and then they just have to accept. So I want to do that first. Somebody to nominate someone.
I don't know who wants it.
Does anybody want to, we have a clerk now.
Yes. I mean,
Does anybody?
let's say that, since we're, is anybody?
I support the person that likes it would want it, you know what I mean? And that's you, I support you, if you want it or not. You're good at it. You're good at it.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
You've been so good.
Oh,
You
thank
do a good job.
No, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. you know, I would say the same for all of you, our newest members as well. I know that you're new, but that doesn't go to say that you can't, you know, pick up and run as well with this commission either. So if you, Latasha, if you'd like the opportunity, certainly.
I'd be open to being vice chair, yeah.
So we have a, all right, I'll move that we elect, any other nominations for vice chair? No? Move that we elect Latasha for another term.
I'll second.
Works for me. It's good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Drinks on you.
Good is on this side of the chair. You got a stink over there.
Whoever has the better coin.
Well, I would like to take this opportunity then to thank you immensely for your support and your vote of confidence in having this continue to serve. I really, this is a position that I hold dearly, because obviously it comes with, you know, such honor, and I really wanted to allow for us to have leadership, whoever that may be, give us a more, you know, better chance in, because I felt like I may have failed us in not being able to pick up the momentum as much as we would like to see this commission go into. So with your support, I humbly accept and hope to be able to, in the next months ahead of us, that we can really start to see some things happen with the commission.
Well, you know, it's been so bad that
Right,
now we can probably get something going.
right. I'd love to, you know, plan even an event or something or other. So, yeah, anything just to become more active. I take, you know, we should all take pride in the Veteran of the Month. That we have at least been able to keep going. So, now that we've officially, right, nominated, accepted those positions, we'll go on actually to.
Can I just, before you
Absolutely.
do move on, I do want to say that I don't want to speak for Latasha, but as one of the three officers, if you do feel overwhelmed, and I think that's part of the hesitation, this chair is holds very intimidating responsibilities.
Yeah.
So if there's any time that there's something that needs to be done, you know, feel free to, and Natasha's nodding her head,
Yeah.
feel free to lean on the both of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, to help you out if you're not able to.
Thank you. It is, but I was more concerned with not being able to bring the commission into the direction that we want to and need to bring it in. And so that was more on me and my just own conscience.
Sure.
And so I thought, you know what, if we open the space and the opportunity for somebody else to do so, then hey, why not? You know? So, but yeah, no, I thank you. It's comforting to know, you know, the support is there. So, but now moving to the Veteran of the Month policy discussion, the posthumous. Jay, did you want to go a little bit further into that, or?
Now, we
It's
have,
not sorry,
we have actually elected, I think, only one Veteran of the Month who was deceased, and he was elected, or he was nominated while he was still alive and then died before the ceremony. We at least nominated one other person who has since passed away. And I think we had nominated him after he died, and I'm talking about Roland,
Yes.
and who's kind of a special guy anyway.
Yes.
But he was at least under consideration, I think, before he passed away. I think we have, you know, three we have a few choices. One, will veterans who passed away be eligible? There are, I think, maybe three choices. One is never. Two is, you know, after the thing is in process. And third is some other period of time, and we probably don't want to go back too far, but maybe thinking of some time limit when people, would have known him, been aware of his or her achievements. So I think it's just open to, I'm kind of open to suggestion. We don't want to open it up to, we don't want people to, go back to the Civil War or anything.
Right.
One of the things we don't want to do, we don't want to have a position where someone in good faith brings forth a suggestion, and we feel, that's really kind of outside the scope. So we don't want to be saying no to people if we don't have to. So I'm open to suggestion on that.
Anybody else have any thoughts?
Well, my neighbor was a Second World War and Korean War veteran Navy commander. She was on a ship that was split in half. She was head nurse on one of the ships, and if you don't have anybody, she is quite a. I don't know how much information we can get on her though.
I think there are actually two criteria that you have to meet. One is your services, your veteran service to the country and the military, and the other is your contribution to the city of Lowell. So we have to meet both of those criteria, even if someone has passed away.
I think we could, as far as posthumous, case-by-case basis, I think, because how do you dictate, well, the First World War is divorced, even this, I understand the Civil War, or even the Revolution is a little far-fetched, but in light of not saying no, I think given a case-by-case basis, it might be worthwhile to look over each nominee.
Yeah, the thing too, if it's posthumous, is their family still alive? I mean, that's a consideration.
No, probably not.
Or, because I want to have something like that we would remember them. Anyone that was what we would recommend if it was.
That's a good point.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
I say it's a good point. Her family is no longer alive. She was.
I think it was
if
in
the
general,
wife is
not
still-
about anyone specific, just if they have relatives or sons and
People
daughters.
alive.
And family to be able to appreciate and receive the nomination.
And we don't want to forget about that other part of the formula, which is the contribution to the city.
Right.
Or there can be a different way to do it instead of doing like a big ceremony, maybe doing like a spotlight and maybe coordinating with the city and being like, hey, maybe do like a Facebook spotlight and be like, we're recognizing this veteran because of their service.
Yes.
Instead of making it a huge ceremony,
Yeah.
so.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So
If we had a Facebook page.
I remember when we attempted that and it didn't go very far. We can let the other members know. So way back when I first got on, one of our talks on plans, hopes were to have a Facebook page, but the difficulty about that is that if it were to be considered a city, official city, Facebook page, we would have to get the, and we did. They wanted to, the city basically, kind of wanted to have the reins on social media accounts. And so we thought, okay, fair enough, why don't we do the, friends of the Lowell Veterans Commission. It could be an unofficial page, we could run it, and just to share information, events, things of that nature for veterans and their families, and just a page for us. And there was still some difficulty getting that going, and so it just kind of fell to the wayside, and we never were able to achieve that. So,
It would have to be monitored too.
yes. So, that could be something that we as a commission, in this new direction, maybe trying to accomplish in getting a Facebook page. And that would be able to give us that, be able to recognize veterans without a big, ceremony, if we should not be able to contact their families.
I don't think a lot of people know about this.
Right.
Or is it possible to create like a quarterly newsletter that we send out to the veterans, or have work with Eric, and basically when Eric sends out his emails to his people within the city that he collaborates with, just having a way to recognize people that way as well?
That's a great idea. Yep, that, we could do that. We'll keep it together but separate, if that makes sense. The efforts of finding veterans, that we can recognize, posthumous or, that are still alive, the efforts should be strong for both. But should we not be able to contact the families of, those that have passed, then we'll concentrate their recognition more, hopefully through social media or through Eric's newsletters, or even at one of our ceremonies, just say, we'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize, so and so. So we can do that as well. But
Sure.
yeah, the actual ceremonies that we'd like to still hold would be for, those that are here to accept. And as far as time frame, we can all vote on that to see how far back, if you would like to do that now. Okay.
What?
Do you wanna have a discussion on how far back? Do we wanna put a time frame? Recognizing?
Well, again, I think I think it should be recent enough that, people who are on the, no, people who are on the commission, but people, residents of the city know the person. Not, so someone that was, I don't know if there's a particular time frame passed within the last 5 years or something like that, but something that, I remember him, yes, he was a big help in doing this, and
Do you recall who we tried to contact about the Facebook page?
we contacted, I know we contacted,
Because I know that there's a lot of,
does anybody else, do any other boards or commissions have a Facebook page? I'm not aware of it. And the city itself has one. And we can post on it. We have posted on it.
so maybe that's the route we might have to go. If we're not allowed to have one, maybe just submit the recognition to them and they can post it.
They'll post it. The problem is, they get so much stuff that if you post something, it'll be gone the next day.
Well, just, I guess, an option.
It is an option. And and now that I think of it, I can't remember, we posted a couple of things.
Well, there has been a lot of movement too within the city, within City Hall as far as departments go. So I doubt, I could be wrong, but I doubt that the person that we contacted that much time back is probably not.
I can't
the same
recall
person.
whether
I
I can't
can go
recall.
back to my emails, we can try.
Yeah,
to
I can't remember whether we contacted
And
the,
then maybe Brian with new energy can kind of tackle that again. They were probably sick and tired.
Yeah. I wonder if we can reach out to the admins of the city's Facebook page, because one thing you can do in light of posting it and it being gone within a couple hours, you can pin, what's called pin a post.
all right.
And what that does is it holds it at the top of the page, so it's one of the first things you see. Maybe asking them to pin our posts and keep them up there for a week.
Yeah, that's
So that
right.
way it doesn't just disappear and it's
Excellent,
guaranteed that
good
people
thought.
see it.
Good thought.
Yeah,
But they have been cooperative, at least as far as letting us post. We've done it a couple of times.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna brainstorm on the others.
I'll try to get you the name too,
Yeah.
see if that person is still there, is the contact person for us to ask about that. But, and so, an extension of the Veteran of the Month policy discussion, we move on to Veteran of the Month nominations, which Jay brought forward, for, former chair himself, of this commission, Mike Peasley, and also, I believe John McDonald served as chair as well at one point. right?
John was the chair, yep,
Yep.
I think, yep.
So both of them served as chairs, or at least, you know, on the commission, and very, very worthy of the nomination and recognition. And so, do we have to, you sent the bios out, I don't know if anybody else had a chance to read their bios, it's pretty impressive. And if we're able to today, we can vote to go forward with theirs, they both accepted,
They both accepted.
yes. So,
On Mike's stuff, I'd like to get a little more material from him, but there's no reason why we can't nominate him or elect him and then work on him to get the material before,
so is this is what he submitted though, right?
that's John's, isn't it?
Mike.
Like,
No, that's mine.
Is it Mike's? What's it?
John's
So I think it's John.
I get one here.
Yeah.
That one's John, and
Yeah,
then this
this
is
is-
mine.
This one's ready to go. This one's ready to go to the, I think it's ready to submit to the mayor.
And then this one's mine.
And, you know, I would.
Yeah, no, I think we got. So, I mean, certainly, if you feel that there's more that we could,
Oh, wait a minute.
absolutely, I'd love to include, you know, more of their service.
Okay, yeah, this is, yeah, this may be fine the way it is in the back.
Okay. Yeah. So with our, need a motion to accept? Okay.
To accept, both nominations for the.
I'll second.
I
it.
second.
So both of these, will submit to the mayor's office. I don't know if you're in contact more with John and Mike, I can contact them as well.
Sure.
Just to see a date, as to when they'd like to, but maybe push for next month.
Sure.
It'll have to be a Tuesday.
Yeah, do we want to do them together, or do we want to maybe do them in sequence?
One each month.
One each month will put us out, a couple of months at least.
You know, the prior mayor said he'd like to get one a month from us.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how, that was Leahy, I don't know, I know how, I'm sure Sakari feels the same way.
Yes, he's very supportive of veterans, so, only because we still have a difficult time getting
Right.
veterans to accept, so if we
Yeah.
can, you know, move it out, and that way at least we have a ceremony to look forward to each month.
Just for information, I have, on a couple of occasions, sent out emails to many of the civic organizations in the city. I sent out an email to, the Veterans Council has kind of an email blast with a lot of veterans and I sent one out to them. The response has not been overwhelming. So, I mean, I have one that I've been kind of working on, and the last one, Cliff, who was an excellent nomination, you know, he turned me down a couple of years ago, and then when I brought it up again, he finally accepted. So people are reluctant to accept it.
Yeah. Yes, and so that's, I mean, typically when I remember when I first got on, that we wanted to give the public the opportunity to nominate first, whereas opposed to internal nominations, because we didn't want it to appear, oh, veterans.
Favoritism.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we just don't get them. Like, we don't, you know, we've only looked at, I wanna say maybe 2 out of, that has reached out from the public and said, hey, I have a family member, I have a friend, you know, and then, you know, great, yeah, and we, you know, we were able to recognize them. But, yeah, that's always been a struggle. I don't know if anybody else is able to offer, like, ideas on how to, you know, outreach, or how to nominate and get.
LTC still runs it once in a while. The Veteran of the Month. Yes, that's on their bulletin boards. I don't know. It's discouraging.
It is. But yes, it's part of the commission's mission, if you would, to recognize a veteran each month. So if anybody has any ideas on how we can achieve that, certainly we welcome it.
And they don't have to be from Lowell.
I'm sorry?
They do have to be from Lowell.
At one point, a resident.
Not anymore.
Not anymore,
No,
though.
Just have to
we
contribute
changed
to the
that,
city.
You
but
could
the
be very good
contribution
on
does have to
contributing.
be.
And what was it, the criteria they had to serve the city somehow, and
A contribute,
what if you were just a veteran and a great veteran, you never really did anything for the city, you could still?
That would be that would be a different policy.
Yeah, so, unless we wanna change it, but what is in place right now is that, they don't have to be a resident of the city anymore, but has been able to contribute positively to the city. So,
In any way, really, you know, whether it's down at the VA clinic over, behind the cemetery there, or working at UMass Lowell with other students, or volunteering, or, you know, just something that is involved in the city.
Coaching little league teams.
Yeah.
So I have someone, but I don't know if they would be interested, but they used to be on the commission a long time ago, and his name is William McDevitt.
I know, Bill.
And so I don't know if Bill would be interested.
Who is this
but
now?
William McDevitt,
Okay.
and he used to be on the commission a long time ago, but I don't know if he would be interested in
Oh, sure, yeah.
being nominated.
Is he still in the city?
Okay.
Is he still using one?
Yes, he is. I used to work with him a long time ago.
Been working with him.
Yeah. Mhm.
He moved out of the city, didn't he?
Say it again?
He moved out of the city, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
so until we can figure out how to do that, I just ask it each time we meet, for our continued efforts to, you know, I have plenty of people that I could nominate, it's just a matter of them accepting.
Yeah, I've got one that I'm still working on, but
Right, right, so,
In light of our two current accepted nominees, without implying one veteran being any more contributory than another, I guess my question would be, who was nominated first, who was accepted first, so we decide which veteran gets June and which veteran gets July?
you're talking about, for the pair that we're talking about?
Yes.
Right.
I think it was actually John that was nominated for, I think I contacted them both more or less simultaneously, but I think it was John that came back with an acceptance first.
Yeah, how about doing one this month and one the following month?
That's,
Yeah, that's what we were just, I was just,
Yeah,
for records purposes, you know, seeing, instead of saying, oh, well, this guy did more and
Right.
that guy did less,
Yeah.
it just who accepted first, I guess is the only way to.
yeah,
The oldest one.
that way there, we,
Still around.
right.
I think-
right,
World
no.
War II, maybe Korean War,
No, we actually-
Vietnam.
We
yeah,
actually did run into that, where we were concerned because,
Yeah.
he was aging and like, oh my gosh, we
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
I think this way here, we would have a little bit of a runway to go ahead and
right.
find some other candidates for any months subsequent.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if our efforts are strong enough to where we have 3 or 4, we've secured 4 months out, you know?
Right.
And that also allows for us to plan those dates accordingly to better the chances of family being able to, because we want a great turnout for the veteran, you know? And so if it cuts it close and they don't get enough notice, then unfortunately the veteran doesn't get
Right.
an opportunity to share with family and friends, to be able to make it, plan ahead, take time off, whatever that, you know, whatever have you. So that's another reason why I'd love to see the efforts be strong in this, so that way hopefully we can get a few, and that puts us out a few months. But right now we're lucky to have the 2 that we have.
does everybody know about the coffee socials that the veterans have? There's one in North Chelmsford on Tuesday morning at 9:30 at the American Legion in North Chelmsford. And there's one at the Harley dealer on Friday at 9:30 in Bellrica.
And I think there's one in Tewksbury, too.
Yes, that's at the, oh God, I don't,
It's at one of the shopping centers, I think.
no, they moved it
Okay.
down on the on the side of the hospital. I can find out Friday
Yeah.
where that one is.
Yeah, there's a guy,
That's
that runs
on-
it, guy that runs it is a guy named Mike Kelly. And he wrote a book, I'm trying to think what the name of the book was.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
on
The Gunner and the Grunt. They both served, they're both kids from Boston, and they both first served in the first cav in Vietnam. He wrote a book, it's pretty good if you're looking for a good,
Yeah. I'm in the DAV in Billerica. I'm a disabled veteran, combat veteran. And when I had the last meeting, I kind of threw that out to the group, I didn't get a response.
Right.
I mean, I'm representing on, you know, I'm on,
So you know Nama?
huh?
Nama?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm active in that group, and so,
And that's kind of the difficulty we run into too, you know, I mean, but I would be really hesitant to accept something like that, you know, and I think
You're not
most of the
allowed.
most of the veteran community is hesitant, you know, to kind of accept some kind of recognition like that.
yeah.
I think that's where we get kind of stalled out.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, right here within this, you know, our commission, you know, there are those of us that are hesitant to, you know, if we were ever to be helped, you know, so I can perfectly understand, but at the same time, like, I'd love to like recognize as many veterans as possible.
The
But I think-
Vietnam veterans
I think,
are
too, the-
afraid almost.
Right.
I think too, the criteria just being related to the city, especially if you're looking at organizations that are outside, where their chapters are outside, makes it a little bit harder. I mean, that's just a challenge itself.
Well, if, as long as we just, consider it as a continuous effort, then, you know, I'm certainly happy with that. You know, I come across veterans all the time and I'm like, great.
So I sense that as far as the posthumous veteran recognition is concerned, I get the impression that we don't want to say never.
Right.
And I get the impression that, you know, maybe if there is, you could write up something that doesn't have a specific 3-year time limit, but just something, I'll try and come up with something that expresses that, you know, that they were around so that people benefited from their services or that kind of thing. And it's not, you know, it would be one thing if we were overwhelmed with
Right.
people looking for it, and as a result, we had to exclude living veterans. But we're a long way away from that. So,
I think that kind of contributing to the city, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
As long as it's
I mean, it doesn't have
within
to.
a reasonable time. I
Yeah,
don't
and
think
it
we need to put a time frame on it, but.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be someone that had a city position.
Right.
It could be someone that would, you know, that ran a nice business in the city. That
Right.
was, or someone that was, you know, outstanding. And, you know.
So thank you for working on that, for us, Jay, and getting, Mike and John to accept. So we'll move forward with that. I will, reach out and see if you have any luck, in reaching them to get a date. Let's do June, for June.
Yep.
Sure.
And then Mike in July.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll reach out to John sooner than later, to try to secure a date. That way it'll give his family and friends enough time. And, I'll get that booked with the mayor's office.
Is Veronica still in the mayor's office?
She's not. Erastus is.
Who?
Erastus,
I don't know. I've never dealt with him.
he's great too. So.
All right.
So VSO is usually Eric, introduction and duties. Is he ever joined? No.
No, it's just us.
Okay, so, we'll defer. And then establish regular meeting schedule. So, would we like to go back to what it used to be, and that is second Wednesday of each month? So that way it doesn't complicate things for anybody as far as, you know, scheduling. As you all know, the only difficulty about that for me is obviously my schedule. It doesn't always fall, I work evenings, so it doesn't always, my days off don't always fall on the second Wednesday. So all of those months, for a while, I wasn't able to attend. And even if we have the hybrid now, which is great, I'm not sure that I'm supposed to appear, you know, in uniform. So, so that would be a conflict as well.
You're not, what was the last thing? You're not supposed to do what?
Appear in uniform.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that I will be able to do that, but majority of us, if that works, I would absolutely support doing that. You know, if it secures us having a forum each month, so that all of you can attend, absolutely, you're very able and capable of, you know, holding the meetings, and I will obviously follow up, and catch the notes, meeting minutes and so forth.
Let me ask you a question. Right now, we seem to be in reasonably good shape as far as quorum is concerned. We're not scrambling for that fifth member as we used to. I think with the group that we have, we can pretty well depend. Could you, let's say you had to skip a meeting once in a while and Latasha chaired, would that be a problem for you?
Absolutely not.
Because I mean, a lot of your stuff is done outside this chamber anyway.
Yep, yep.
Looks like Eric just walked
Oh, Eric. Can you hear us?
in. Hey, Eric.
I can hear you now. Sorry I'm late.
That's
No
okay,
worries,
no
good to
worries.
see you.
My wife had a procedure today and I just got back, so.
Oh,
I hope she's well, and let her know that our thoughts and prayers are with her.
Thank you.
yes, absolutely. We actually just got through to your part of the meeting, for the VSO introductions and duties. Did you have anything to share?
Sure. First of all, hi. To those who don't know me, my name is Eric Lamarche. I am the Veterans Agent for the City of Lowell. I don't know if, does everybody know what the Veterans Agent does? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, all right. So the main part of what the Veterans Agent does in the state of Massachusetts is we're a financial, under the Chapter 115, Section 108 Mass General Laws. We provide financial assistance to veterans, widows, and some disabled children. It could be, I mean, if you can think it, we basically do it. If somebody needs a vehicle, their car fixed so they can go back to work, we could provide, as long as they're eligible. It is a needs-based system, income and asset limit. We've helped people with rent arrearages, mortgage arrearages, pay off fuel bills. I mean, there's prescriptions, co-payments for hospitals, ambulances. I mean, it's a very comprehensive program that we provide. Now, secondary, we assist with a lot of VA claims. Lately, that's been the majority of what we've been doing. There's a lot of people coming out for compensation and pension claims, and widows dependency indemnity compensation claims, which is just a VA compensation claim, but for the surviving spouse of the veteran. We have training twice a year, which that's coming up very shortly. Both the Massachusetts Department of Veteran Services as well as the Massachusetts Veteran Service Officer Association, they both have their own. And unfortunately, it's at the Cape this year. I have to go down there for a week. That stinks, huh?
or you.
Yeah, we collaborate a lot with each other. We hold services and things like that. We just started a banner program. I'm not sure if anybody read about that or saw anything on the city council meeting on Tuesday, but we presented, there were nine hometown hero banners presented. We have 4 more coming for the police officers. And it's basically, it's for veterans and first responders. And I'm hoping that it kicks off next year a little bit more than this year. But we try and move forward. And I'm always open to any ideas that any of you guys have, and willing to work. I know that City Councilor Yem is looking to see if he can get a parade together, so don't be surprised if he reaches out to some or all of you if you had any ideas. Other than that, anybody have any questions or?
Well, first and foremost, as always, I love to take up the opportunity thank you again for also spearheading the placing of the flags last Friday. I was able to catch Eric just briefly for a few moments, and Ken as well. And so
Yeah, I
thank
was
you.
there too.
What's that?
Flags, I was there also.
Oh, terrific. We didn't touch base. I was there just a short time. My mother called and I had to go and get her, but, so I thank everybody that was able to attend, to do that. I also actually replaced a couple of the flags and brought them here to your flag box, so I finally put that to use for myself, so I thank you again. What we brought up during tonight's meeting, that we have to ask you about is, if possible, we discussed posthumous, nominations, for the Veteran of the Month. And if we aren't able to get a social media site up, for the commission, would we be able to, submit that to you to put in your newsletter that you have, to recognize veterans that have passed? Okay.
Phone's on mute, Eric.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, absolutely, I will do that. I think that's exactly why we have that Veterans Corner in the Senior Center newsletter there, but I think it's a great idea. Just let me know and I'll submit them.
Excellent.
Oh, the O'Neill Memorial rededication. That's what I wanted to. That was also discussed last meeting as well. Would we be able to do that, the rededication of that, for this Memorial Day? Is that, or is that not?
You mean like in a couple days?
Yeah, well, we threw that out last month, seeing if that was even possible. I didn't know if, you and Jay had been in touch since then or not, but if not,
I mean, we can get
That's something I'd like to work on at some point.
we can get it done within, June is my update. Every 6 months we update all the files, but I could definitely, I'd like to say by the end of June, maybe early July, we could probably get it done.
Okay.
If you just give me the information and I'll talk to the city and see if we can get something together.
Okay.
Are you in touch with all the family and all that?
Yeah, I didn't know it was
Yeah,
an issue.
no.
No, we were talking about the rededication from last month of,
For the memorial for
Yeah.
my father and his brothers?
yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
if you're able to get the information, on them to Eric, Eric will work on that, and then we can hopefully
okay.
plan for something end of June, July, he's saying.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Sure. I didn't-
If you want to meet with me, maybe we can sit and talk and discuss what you're looking for, because I'd want to have an honor guard there, and,
Well, I didn't know that was the place, to tell you the truth. I go there and put flags on it in Memorial Day, I've done it already, but I didn't know that they were gonna rededicate.
So, what the commission has done before, and Veteran Services has done before is, there'll be a dedication or rededication of
Okay.
a particular corner or,
Just wherever it is?
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah?
And, it would actually be a ceremony.
Oh, really?
We would all go, we would invite the public. We had a really, really great one. Gosh,
that's
I forget what street that was, but, we would do that in honor of your dad.
Sure, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no. So if you're able, in fact, I'm not even gonna give you a choice.
Yeah, I'll get all the information from them.
So yes, if you would, I would love for us to be able to
Oh, okay.
recognize them.
That's
Yeah,
great.
and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, Eric, he will be in touch with you, and get you that information that we're gonna need, and you do an amazing job, so I don't, doubt that this will be the same, for his rededication, so we will look forward to that. If there's anything that the commission, I, or anybody individually can do for you to assist you with that, please do not ever hesitate, but I'd love to see that happen, because he has his father and his father's brothers. Yeah, so.
sure.
Okay. Terrific. Thank you very much. Anything else?
Quick question on schedule. Assuming we can go to the second Wednesday of the month, I think we had previously been meeting at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
We've kind of drifted back to 5:30 or even 5. Would anybody prefer the 5:30 to the 6, or does anybody,
Yeah.
does anybody care, or?
No, I think even moving it up more, 5 or 5:30 actually, gives us a better chance of not, conflicting with anything the city has.
So let's see if that's available, then maybe we can grab the 5:30.
5:30,
All right.
okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there a day that, obviously with a rotating schedule, there's no real day of any month that's guaranteed, right?
I mean, I do know my schedule in advance,
Yeah.
which is how we were able to schedule this one, because
Right.
tonight's my night off, and so I asked, and luckily the mayor's, office was open, and I'm sorry.
And if there's,
Tonight was open for us to
if
have.
there's a meeting where we're dealing with something critical and your schedule doesn't fit, we can move our meeting in.
Yeah, sure, absolutely, thank you. So yes,
I just wanted, in light of a regularly scheduled meeting, you know, there's no real day with a rotating schedule that you have off in. I didn't think so.
yeah.
Okay. Figured I'd
I
ask.
don't know, thank you.
I can go any day, so.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm just thinking that, at some point we were talking about having speakers, and that's easier to arrange, and television and TV coverage, and
Yes, and that's another thing too, if, that's also what I'd like to pick up on and get some momentum going, is if anybody has, a guest speaker that they would like to invite to speak, share their information, or just have somebody that wants to, discuss anything regarding veterans, please feel free to let us know that, and then we can book them into, the next meeting.
we have a couple of veterans housing projects that are underway in Lowell, and the executive director of the Lowell Housing Authority and possibly the chair, so they would be happy to come by and brief us on it. So I'd like to do that, but that's one where I think they would have enough general interest, where I'd like to have a public meeting and have it televised.
Right, yeah. So you think maybe July or June?
June or July would be good, if we could.
We would have to secure that in the chamber, though, to get.
We'd have to make sure the chamber's available. We'd have to make sure that LTC would be covering it.
So if you are able to connect with that person, to see if they'll be able to attend the next one, then we'll circle back with Brian and, put that on the agenda, and we can have her come and speak.
And they said they'd be happy to do it any time, but that doesn't mean that if you say the 14th or something, that they
Right.
won't have a conflict.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I think, before adjourning, I just wanted to take a quick moment to, congratulate Latasha on her position. Latasha, if you wouldn't mind just, sharing with us, what that new title of yours, entails and what you'll be doing. That way we can kind of, get the information out there and also recognize, what you're doing.
Okay, so, I was recently, hired at Northern Essex Community College. I am their Special Populations Coordinator for Veterans and Military Services. So I'm working with the post 9/11 veterans that are, coming to Northern Essex and help service them with returning to college and just any needs that they may have. And so I'm located up in Haverhill, and then also too, if a veteran needs support, I'm also on the Lawrence campus, so.
Awesome, good for you. Thank you. Got the right veteran for that, to do that job, so, wish you luck in that position, you'll do well in anything that you do. And before we adjourn, we always open it up for any events, anything that anybody has to share.
Everybody's aware of the Memorial Today
Yes.
the auditorium.
So I will be in attendance, if anybody else is able to, I'd love to see familiar faces there. They always put on a terrific ceremony for that.
There's also a ceremony on Monday at the Centerville Veterans Memorial across the street from Donut. That's at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. on Monday?
Yes.
And what's at the auditorium?
Where in Centerville, Eric?
Across from Top Donut.
Okay.
Across from Top Donut.
All right.
That's not done, but, the Greater Lowell veterans that Matt's with, they're holding their annual.
The ceremony.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
What time is that, do you know?
That's usually 10 o'clock, but they also do that here, I think at 9, right here, out here.
They do, it's scheduled for 10 o'clock at Latin Whitney and 11 o'clock at Auditorium.
All right, so we are right on the dot on that hour. So if there is nothing else that anybody would like to share, then we'll motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second, okay, terrific. I thank you all again, thank you so much. I love that we are able to meet and see your faces again here. Eric, thank you for joining. And I will look forward to seeing you all next month. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good meeting.
And Dee, didn't you go through some of those
Record.